This video is brought to you by Zolver.com.
We're gonna learn about use of brackets. We're gonna learn about estimation. And finally we're gonna learn Roman numbers. So first let us start by doing few problems from the topic that has been covered in part 1. So let's start. In one state, the number of bicycles sold in the year 2002 to 2003 was 7,43,000. In the year 2003 and 2004, the number of bicycles sold was 8,100,000. In which year were more bicycles sold and how many more? Basically, you start doing problem in the same way as I follow. Maybe this is what I feel easy. So first and foremost, let us analyze the question. In one state, the number of bicycles sold in a year. So the basic thing is the number of bicycles sold in a year. In the year 2002 to 2003, there were 7,43,000 bicycles sold, and in the year 2003 to 2004, there were 8,100,000 bicycles sold. So, in which year were the number of bicycles sold? So, underline few important terms that are important for us to solve the problem, and then you see the final term what they have asked you to find. They are asking you to see in which year were the more number of bicycles sold. So basically this is comparison. So start by writing year 2002 to 2003 there were 7,43,000 bicycles sold, and in the year 2003 to 2004 there were 8,100,000 bicycles sold. So basically this is a problem based on your comparison. So compare between these two numbers and find which is the greater number, so that you can tell in which year the more number of bicycles were sold. So you can write in year 2003 to 2004 more number of bicycles were sold. Now you gotta find the second part of the question. How many more were sold? How many more were sold means after you find the highest year in which the more number of bicycles were sold, you subtract it with the lowest one and you find the difference. So difference is basically means subtraction. So you subtract the higher number with the lower number to find how many were sold. So you subtract 8 lakhs with 7,43,000. And this is basic subtraction. You subtract 0, 0, 1 and you have 3, you have to carry over 10, 9, so you get 7 here and you get 5 here. So that's your answer. So the number of extra bicycles sold were 57,100 extra bicycles were sold in the year 2003 to 2004 than in the year 2002 to 2003. So that's your conclusion you'll have to write. And let us solve another question. So now let us solve this example. The question goes like this. The number of sheets of paper available for making notebook is 75,000. Each sheet makes 8 pages of a notebook. So each notebook contains 200 pages. How many notebooks can be made from the paper available? So as I said, underline the important numbers and terms. So for making a notebook, it is 75,000. So the total number of sheets they have is 75,000, and each sheet they have makes 8 pages of a notebook. So each sheet makes 8 pages and each book contains 200 pages. So how many notebooks can be made from a paper available? So that's what you gotta solve. So let's start solving this. You see there are 75,000 sheets available and each sheet makes 8 pages of a notebook. So now you have to find how many pages can be made out of the 75,000 sheets. So how do you do this? You have to multiply 75,000 with 8 to get the total number of pages. That is 75,000 into 8, and you have to do your general multiplication for this. You get 0, 0, 0, and 8 5s are 40, 0 carry 4, and 8 7s are 56, you get 60. So commas, and you get 6 lakh pages. So 6 lakh pages are available for you. Pages available. 6 lakh pages are available. Now you will have to find the number of notebooks that can be made. So how many pages does each notebook contain? Is 200, and you have 6 lakh pages. So you have to divide 6 lakh by 200 to get the number of notebooks. So let's divide. You get 6 lakhs inside. So that's 6 lakhs, and divided by 200, and this is your general division. Generally, so 200. So let's multiply it by 2 3s, so 200, you get 600, and subtract it, so you get 0, and carry this 3 zeros over here. So you can make 3,000 notebooks using 75,000 sheets. So that's your final answer. Conclude that. So using the same method you can solve various problems. So now let us move on to the next topic, which is estimation. So what does estimation means? So what does estimation mean? Let us take an example. You might have heard in TV people telling that there were like 61,000 people gathered for a IPL match, but are you sure that there were exactly 61,000 people that were gathered? Absolutely not. There might be like 61,102 people gathered, or there could be like 60,900 people gathered, but they round it off and tell it as approximately 61,000 people are gathered. So the word approximately means they are not definite that there were exactly so many people, but there were nearly so many people that were gathered. So that is what estimation actually means. Estimation can also be called as rounding off or approximation. So what are the ways of doing estimation? So let us learn. There are 3 methods in which estimation could be done. The first method is approximating it to the nearest tens. So let us see what that is. So the first method is estimating to nearest tens number. Now let us take an example of the number 273. Now 273 lies between 270 and 280. Using this method, the rounding off will take place only till the tens number. Now see that 273 is nearer to 270 or 280. So you know that 273 is nearer to 270. Nearer in the sense, take a number line, and here is 270 and here is 280, and in between there is a number called 273. So see if this is nearer or this is near. Definitely this is nearer, so you approximate it to 270. This is one method of approximation or estimation. Now the second method is approximating it to the nearest hundreds, that is to hundreds place. Now this number will take place for 4-digit number, like for example take a number like 2735, and see the number lies between for this hundreds position you will have to consider the hundreds, the number in the hundred than the number in tens and ones. That is, like, see, the number 2735 lies between 2700 and 2800. You might see that I have completely ignored the number 35 and I am only concentrating on the hundreds place and the position in which they are lying. Oh, this is 2800. So now the same way, see if this is 2700 in number scale, and if this is 2800, and if 2735 lies here, and see the distance in which it is nearer to. The 2735 is nearer to 2700, so you approximate it to 2700. Now let us take another example, which is 8765. 8765 lies between 8,700 and 8,800. You can also see that I've completely ignored the tens and ones place, so see which it is nearer to. If this is 8,700 and if this is 8,800 and 8,765 lies here, so 8,765 is closer to 8,800, so you round it off to 8,800. So basically what I'm trying to tell you people is you have to round it to the nearest number to which they can approximately be said or told. Now the third method goes like this, which is approximating it to the nearest thousands. 2000s position. Now this is something you'll have to follow a rule of. Now if a number lies between 0 to 499, you'll have to round it off to the smaller number. And if there's a number which lies between 500 and 999, you'll have to round it off to the larger number. So you will understand this concept when I take you an example and explain. Now let us take an example of 7,365. Now since this is rounding off to the nearest thousands, you will have to consider only the thousands position, that is the 1000 digit. Now this number lies between 7,000 and 8,000 and you see that I have completely ignored the rest of the three digits. Now as per the rule, it says that if the last three digits, that is the hundreds position, tens position and ones position, consider them, that is 365, and as per the rule you will have to go see if 365 lies between 0 to 999 or 500 to 999. So definitely 365 lies between 0 to 999. So the rule says that you will have to round it off to the smaller value. The smaller value is between this and this. The smaller value is 7,000, so you round it up to 7,000. Now let us consider another example, that is 6,599. Now you have to round it off to the nearest thousands position. So the nearest thousand position, in the sense, consider the digit in the thousands, 6,000. So this digit lies between 6,000 and 7,000. Now go through the rule, that is consider the hundreds, tens and ones digit, that is 599. So see if 599 satisfy the first rule or the second rule. So 599 lies between 500 and 999, so you'll have to consider the larger number. So you consider 7,000 and round this number to 7,000. So similarly you can round a digit either by using tens rule or the nearest hundreds or to the nearest thousands. Now let us move on to the next topic in your chapter, which is called as brackets. So what are brackets basically? Let's take an example. Now a guy goes to a shop and buys 6 books, which is for 10 rupees each book, okay, and a guy B goes and buys 7 books for the same price. So what would be the cost of the total books that A and B bought it together? So to do this you can use two methods for doing. Let's see the first method, that is A plus B, which is equal to 6 into 10 plus 7 into 10. So you would get like 6 into 10 is 60 plus 7 into 10 is 70, so you get 130. And you can do a method like this also, by first adding the total number of books altogether, that is 6 plus 7 is equal to 13, and then multiply it with the cost of the book. You get 13 into 10 is equal to 130. At both the case you get same answer. Now this same problem could be solved by using brackets. So let's see what a bracket looks like. A bracket basically will look like this. These are called common brackets, which are most commonly used. Now this same problem could be solved by using the method which B has used. Like let's see, 6 plus 7, put them in the bracket and multiply it by 10. So the rule of bracket tells is first you will have to do the operations which are inside the bracket, and you have to get a single number, and that number has to be operated with the other numbers outside the bracket. So that goes like this. Like for example, first you'll have to take the operations inside the bracket. So inside the bracket it's 6 plus 7, so 6 plus 7 will give you 13, and into 10 will give you 130. So this is how you use a bracket. Now let's see a different example in which you can solve a different type of problems using brackets. Okay, now let us see a way of solving the problems using brackets. Now you have a problem in which you will have to multiply 7 by the number 109. You would take like around 3-4 minutes to multiply this number, and by using brackets there is a easy way in which you can multiply this number easily and without even spending more time. So the method for doing this is, when you have a bigger number you have to split this number so that it is easier for you to multiply. Now let's see, for example, 7, that is this number, and then take the bigger number and split it into two easier numbers, that is 100 plus 9. When you do the reverse process the number remains same, that is 100 plus 9 will give you 109 still. So now do the multiplication with the brackets, that is the number outside the bracket has to be multiplied the number inside the bracket. So 7 into 100, and the plus sign is here, you put a plus sign here. So I can multiply the number outside the bracket to the number inside the bracket, so you get 9 into 7. So when the operation is done for this, you get 700 plus 9 into 7 will give you 63. So your final answer would be 763, and this answer is the answer for this one. And this is the easier way in which you can multiply bigger numbers using the brackets. Now let us see another example in which you will have to multiply 103 and 102. Similarly, by using the same method, split the bigger number into two smaller numbers which are easier for us to multiply, like 100 plus 3 into 100 plus 2. Now using the same operation you will have to multiply the numbers outside the bracket to the numbers inside the bracket, but in this there's another bracket operation and another bracket operation. So what you'll have to do is you'll have to split the numbers inside one bracket and multiply it with every term in the second bracket, and then you'll have to take another number with the sign and multiply the same. So I'll show you how. Like, take the number 100 first and multiply this 100 with every number inside this number, like 100 into 100 plus 2. Now the same has to be done for this with the sign, so add a sign and 3, and then do the same, 100 plus 2. Now do the bracket operation as shown before. You get 100 into 100 plus 2 into 100, and then this sign has to be kept, so plus 3 into, multiply 3 inside the bracket, so you get 100 plus 3 into 2. So what you get is, now multiply every term and do operations, like 100 into 100 will give you 10,000, plus 2 into 100 will give you 200, plus 3 into 100 will plus 3 into 100 will give you 300, plus 3 into 2 would give you 6. Now add these numbers and the answer you get will be the same as this, that is 10,506 would be the answer for this multiplication.
The rest of the topics will be covered in the next part, and for more videos please subscribe to our YouTube channel Zolver eLearning, or sign up at www.zolver.com and get one-to-one tuitions from IITian teachers. Thank you.